during the Heartland is a story with a lot of heart and drama, but there are funny moments too. Each year, the show releases a blooper compilation, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So let's look at some of these moments. These are Heartland funny moments and bloopers revealed. Horse riding gone wrong. As a show set on a horse farm around horse training, the entire cast is obviously riding horses for scenes pretty regularly. But animals don't always want to do what you want them to do. So there are loads of scenes where the horses start to get jumpy. There are loads of funny moments when the horses decide that they have had enough of being well-behaved and waiting for the actors to finish saying their lines. So then they move, and not everyone is always ready, or the actors just can't keep their balance on their own and just fall off. Since no one has gotten really hurt from this, it is pretty funny to see not remembering each other's names. I guess when you work together as long as some of the cast of Heartland has worked together, then you get to know each other pretty well. And it sure does look like the cast of this show has become really great friends that have a lot of fun on set together. So some of the funniest moments come when they just can't remember the names of the characters they are playing. There are many moments when they start to speak to each other, but they use their own names instead of staying in character. Or there are just times when they become completely confused by who the characters in the scenes are. It can become really funny and really confusing. For example, during one scene where Amy and Ty are talking about their baby and the babysitter, they're talking about Lindy the baby and Lily the babysitter. They keep making the same mistake over and over, and eventually they confuse each other so much that neither have any idea who the baby is or who the babysitter was anymore. It was pretty hilarious, and what made it even better was that the actors all were willing to laugh at themselves too. Other animals not cooperating. Besides horses, there is a show that has a lot of different animals on it, and sometimes these animals just don't want to work either, or they just don't want to do what the scene is asking them to do. It can be pretty funny. There are cows and skunks and even eagles that are expected to follow the script. The problem is that animals aren't known for being great readers, so they don't always know what the writers want. The chaos that ensues can be really funny. These are puppies that are attacking feet and props, eagles that just look angry, and cows bumping people. And even the horses that are too small to ride yet can stir up some trouble. Who knew that baby horses were so kick-happy? The cast needs to watch out for those little cute legs because they are out to get them. The kissing scenes. Heartland has a lot of very romantic scenes, but seeing how they get made can be more funny than romantic. There are many kissing scenes that might not go as planned for the first few takes. The bloopers show all the times when a kiss is supposed to happen, but generally the couple that is involved rather breaks into a fit of giggles instead of kissing each other. It is very sweet and super wholesome and fun to watch. It is obvious that the cast is having a lot of fun while filming the show. So much sneezing. Again, it is a show set on a ranch with lots of animals, and they are shooting in barns and places that can have a lot of dust. And lots of dust can lead to lots of sneezing. The amount of scenes that get interrupted by sneezing fits is pretty funny. The actors are just minding their own business when they start to sneeze. And we all know that sometimes when you start, you just can't stop. It is an interruption that keeps on happening and gets funnier as it goes on for longer. Bodily functions. Picture this majestic and lovely scene. Beautiful green fields with a beautiful sunset. Horses riding off in the distance, coming even closer. It is a lovely sight, and there are loads of scenes like that that make it into the show. One of the best parts of Heartland is all of the stunning scenes that play out on screen. They are really lovely to watch, and fans get hooked on the show just by how pretty it is. But there are a lot of bloopers that include horses deciding that it is time for them to take a bathroom break. I guess they can't always wait for lunchtime. When nature calls, they answer. It can be pretty hilarious when you see these stunning scenes get interrupted with poop or pee. Most of the time with some poor actor in the back of a horse, forcing them to stop the scene and to give the animals some time to finish their business. Then and now. During the season 10 blooper reel, there was a small section that was not really funny, but really cute to see. It gives a picture of the cast during the very first season, and then during season 10. It was really sweet to see how far they had come and how young some of them were. It was a cute and heartfelt moment between all the funny moments that were there. Kids getting sassy. The old saying goes that you should never work with kids or animals, but it looks like the creators of Heartland do not believe that this is true. We've already seen some of the chaos that the animals on set can create, and sometimes the kids can be just as funny. I am sure that sometimes you just have to roll with it and just see the humor. But it is even funnier when they are the ones that are correcting the adults. Children can be little sponges, and after a few times that they get through their lines, they might know them better than the actors that are supposed to say them. It is really cute and funny to see the bloopers where the adults forget their lines and the children are the ones that remind them what to say. And when these little kids start to get sassy, it can lead to some really funny moments. Vehicles misbehaving. Now, we can understand why kids and animals would misbehave, but who could think that a lot of bloopers come from inanimate objects, like vehicles misbehaving? Trucks and other vehicles can play a pretty big part in this show too, but sometimes when you are shooting a scene, car safety might be the last thing on your mind. There are bloopers where a car stalls mid-scene or even drives in the wrong direction. There was even a scene where Jack gets out of his truck, but instead of the scene going on from there, it was interrupted by the truck starting to roll away all on its own. Luckily, there wasn't anything or anyone in front of the truck for it to hit, and it was going very slowly anyway. So it just ended up as a funny moment of something that went wrong. Babies getting distracted. Babies are even harder to keep focused than small children. Everything is new, and there is no way that they can be given any direction. So the babies on set can create a lot of fun and cute moments. Most of the time, they just use a baby prop when you aren't close enough to see the difference. And some of those times also lead to some pretty funny moments. But when the real babies were in the scene, things could get interesting. Like during the time when Amy's daughter Lindy was a little baby. The twins that played her were super cute. At least one, or maybe even both of them, was really fascinated by the boom mic that is kept hanging over the heads of actors during the scene. It looked pretty weird and was really cute to see the babies keep bending their heads, trying to check out what this strange thing above them was. There were a few times that scenes ended up on the bloopers reel because of these inquisitive babies checking out this weird thing. Lots of eating. Scenes of the family sitting around the dining table eating dinner or a freshly baked pie are scenes that are a big part of the fabric of the show. But sometimes the food in the show can be more of a distraction than they are a prop. There have been moments that some of the cast even used it to make funny moments happen, like stuffing their face so they can't speak, or just generally misbehaving. It is pretty hilarious to watch, and it makes the real scenes even better, cracking up or forgetting lines. And sometimes the funniest moments just come from the actors not being able to simply do the thing that they are supposed to be doing, acting. And sometimes the actors that are off screen try their best to make their friends that are in the scene break too. So in some of the bloopers, you can see the actors looking at people off screen and cracking up. It even happens in really sad moments too. There are bloopers that came from some of the most heartbreaking scenes in the show, like in one scene where Amy is having a really intense conversation with her father. She starts to tear up, and it is just so sad to watch, if you aren't watching the blooper version of the scene, that is. In it, she gets all teary and she is very emotional, but Chris Potter can't remember his lines, and the moment and the tension is completely broken. Forgetting lines is a big contributor to all of the blooper scenes right through all of the seasons on the show. The words, "What was that line?" is spoken frequently. But if you consider just how many hours of the show have been filmed, can you really blame them for not getting every line the first time? Heartland has incredible moments, and seeing the lighter side of the show and the cast make it even better. Thanks for watching.